Okay, before I get started, I just want to clear out one thing. There is no live ammunition in this room anywhere. This handgun has no magazine in it, and it is clear, it is safe to handle. This is my Glock 17 Generation 6. I was going to use it as a everyday carry, but changed my mind. What I'm going to do with this is use it for competition shooting. And I do competition shooting just for fun. I'm not good at it. I'm not going to be some kind of fancy master shooter or anything like that, but it's fun to do. So the first thing I did was I put a Holosun red dot sight on it, and this is the Holosun 507C X2. I also added a mag well to the handgun. And then today, 2 packages came in the mail, and I'm thinking they're for this Glock. Oh, and I also got this in the mail the other day. I figured since I have a Glock, I should have a Glock tool. Anyway, this smaller package came in the mail today. I'm curious to see what it is. It is the Johnny Glock competition trigger. This is going to go into this Glock since I am not going to use it for self-defense. It's only going to be for competition. And then in here, let's see what came in this package. All right, yes, these are from Mekgar. I think I'm saying that right. Okay, I'm going to get started installing this competition trigger into my Glock, and I don't know how much of YouTube will allow me to show the installation, so I'm probably not going to show much of it at all. So I'm going to have to download the video that Johnny Glock has on installing that trigger and review it before I start the installation. Okay, so here's the VEX 6 competitive trigger from Johnny Glock. Let's see what's inside the package. A QR code so I can get the instructions. Cool. There is a trigger bar, and it looks like it has an attached trigger shoe. Okay. There are 2 striker pins. That's these little guys right here. And in the smaller package, I'm not sure if I know what all this stuff is called. Let me dump this out. Okay, so that looks like there's a connector. I believe this is called a connector. There is a fire pin safety, little hex wrench. I'll have to see what the instructions want me to do with that. And then there's this little spring. I think they call this a reduced firing pin safety spring. Oh, and then there's this, oh, there's one more tiny spring in here. Anyway, so there's 2 springs in this smaller package. I'm not sure what those are. I'll have to look at the Johnny Glock instructions. Set those aside. Okay, like I said, this handgun is clear. There's no ammunition in it, no magazine. There's no ammo in this room at all. I'm going to disassemble. I'm going to now disassemble this handgun so I can put the Johnny Glock trigger in there. But I'm going to have to look at the video first before I do this. So following Johnny Glock's video to the letter, first thing is check to make sure that the gun is clear. Then I'm going to drop the hammer. I'm going to remove the slide. I think I'm going to take the barrel out. He left his barrel in, but I'll put this stuff over here. I think I'm going to remove it for right now. Okay, according to the video, I have to push out this pin and this pin to get these components out. So apparently there's only 2 pins that keeps the entire trigger assembly in this handgun. Amazing. So I don't know how much of YouTube is going to allow me to do this, but this is not a training video to teach people how to do this. I'm just showing what I did. So this pin comes out first with my newly bought Glock tool. That was easy. Put that over there. This one, he says, is a little harder to do. You might have to use some force on it. Yep, I had to use some force on it, but it came out. So now I had to remove the locking block. That's this component here. He used his tool to do it with. How the heck did he do that? Oh, there we go. Okay, locking block is out. And then I have to remove the slide catch. That's this part right here, the slide catch. And now I can remove the rest of this device. and my handgun is completely disassembled. Okay, for brevity, I'm not going to show putting in all these Johnny Glock parts into the gun. I need to concentrate on his video and getting them into this frame. Oh, I forgot. I've got to disassemble the slide. And I'm not going to show me disassembling the slide. What I'll do is probably show the handgun when it's all put back together. Then I'm going to take it out to the gun range and shoot it. Okay, so I've got the Johnny Glock trigger installed. And let's see, here's what it sounds like. There's the wall, there's the brake, reset, reset. Feels pretty good. It's definitely different than my original Glock trigger, which is when you bring it here, there's a solid wall right there. This doesn't have a solid wall. It's gonna fly right through, so. This definitely will not be a carry gun. This will only be for competition. Now I just have to do the safety checks that he recommends. So his video also talks about using this little hex tool that I put back in the bag to adjust the trigger. But I'm not going to do that. I like it exactly where it's at. Okay, so now I'm going to do some safety checks. Check the slide has to be removed, and I'm going to move this vertical extension forward, and that should set the trigger. Then with the trigger in its forward position, I'm going to put my fingers on the sides of the shoe, not touching the trigger safety, and apply pressure to see if the trigger moves, and it does not. I cannot break the trigger, so I passed the first safety check. The next test is to push down with my tool on the cruciform to see if it moves, and I'm pushing like crazy, and it is not moving. Right there, pushing down on that cruciform. It will not move. So I passed safety check number 2. The next safety test is the firing pin test, and the way you check this is you push down on the firing pin safety and then shake the slide, and you should hear the pin moving. And with this engaged, now you don't hear any movement. So now I passed the third safety check. So those are all the safety checks. There was 3 of them. That means this gun passed the safety checks. Can't wait till I get it out on the range and test it out. Like I said, this is not going to be an everyday carry handgun. It is going to be a competition handgun. It will be only shot at the range during competition.